Let's start our warm-up. Welcome to Fab and Fit over 40 and beyond. My name is Rhoda. I'm glad you're here, whether you've come back as a subscriber or this is your first time here. Welcome. Bring your knees up and twist. We work on strength training. We're going to be strength training today. Arms forward and back. When we build lean muscle, especially over 40, it helps us maintain our metabolism. It protects our bones. Then we do low impact cardio. We'll have some of that here today as well. Reach out. You are strengthening the most important muscle in your body, your heart, when you're doing cardio. Burning fat at the same time. And abs, core, and balance. You're going to find a lot of abs sprinkled in here today. And arms up and down. Let's talk about what we're going to do. Peripheral Heart Action, PHA. Well, what is that? That is a way to get both strength training and an elevated heart rate at the same time. Something used by bodybuilders. Now, don't panic. We're not going to have a bodybuilder body. But at the end of their training, when they've built all their muscle, they're trying to bring down their fat content so that their muscles show. PHA is the way to do it. We'll do a lower body, then an upper body, then a lower body, then an upper body. No rest in between. We have a 5-second transition if you want to change the length of your strength of your dumbbells, sorry. And then we'll take those two exercises. We're going to do a compound move. Compound moves also elevate your heart rate. Then we move into a half Tabata round. So we'll be doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, boosting that heart rate a little higher. So we're going to burn fat and build muscle. Now I'm going to start with my 15s and my 10s. Wide squats, you're going to be watching the modification where you'll be doing side raises and rear leg raises. Otherwise, my heavier dumbbells for my wide squats. Here we go. Down and up. Watch the modification because you'll do a side leg, rear leg, and just go through that pattern. Those of us squatting, knees tracking over the toes, real important. And you'll find if your knees bother you in normal squats, you may be able to do wide squats because your feet are farther out from under your hips. The heel is really taking a lot of the body weight here. So just try. If it's painful, obviously keep the modification going. But if you can do the squats, go ahead and hop in and do the squats. 5-second transition to my 10s. Palms facing me. Arnold press, palms facing you. I'm keeping my feet wide so we can do that transition right back into the wide squat. So when we do lower and then upper, back to lower and back to upper, what's happening is the heart is pumping blood to the muscles we're working right now in the chest, back, and shoulders. Arms assisting, and then we change, transition. 5 seconds later, blood needs to be going to the lower body for those wide squats or leg lifts. The heart has to work hard to make that transition. Heart rate goes up when the heart's working harder because these muscles want oxygen. That's their number one fuel source. If they can't get enough oxygen, they will move into stored fuel in the muscle, but that doesn't last very long. That's how we condition metabolically. So this is a metabolic conditioning workout because we're doing different training techniques that have different levels of oxygen versus that fast energy that we store in our muscles, and then endurance, because we're going for a long time with these PHA rounds. One more squat here, then we're going to transition to the last round of just Arnold presses. Palms face you, palms face me. Nice shoulder rotation. Good way to strengthen the rotator cuff. If you've ever had rotator cuff issues like I have, it's really painful. That shoulder kind of floats in the joint. And when you damage it, for some reason, you feel it in your entire core body, as well as that arm. on whichever side your shoulder problems happen to be on. And good. All right, we're going to combine those two. So we're going to do a squat to a press, or a side raise, just one side raise to a press, and then the other side. Now I'm going to lighten my dumbbells to 8s here. My shoulders are feeling that, but you pick what feels right for you. Nice and wide, squat, come on up, then do your press. And squat, get low. And press. We're warmed up now. Keep track of those side leg raises versus rear leg raises, because you're going through 4 different movements with a press in between. We'll finish here. Then we're going to move into that Tabata. That is HIIT training. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. Heart rate up. Heart rate comes down a tad, and then we boost it up again. We are transitioning with 20 seconds. Going to grab an 8. We're going to soccer kick and chop. So inner thigh and core. Here's where some of these abs come in. Let's go with your right leg first. Chop it out. Here we go. Now this is cardio, so we're going to move here. Move. Pull the tummy tight. The more movement, the more muscles, the more oxygen needed. So what happens? Heart rate goes up, and we burn fat while we create these lean muscles. 10 seconds transition here. We're going to take this one weight, going up and over. Bring it up and then behind a little bit, incorporating those obliques. Here we go. Up and over. Up and over. Just walk it out. Don't worry too much about the feet. Just keep moving. Bringing that dumbbell down behind. Working the outer obliques, lower part of the back. Now we do each of those one more time. Deep breath. Hope you hear that, feel that heart rate. We'll go right leg first. Twist it out here. Really chop, okay? Chop. I flex my foot. I think about kicking a soccer ball, which you kick from the inside of the foot. And I am breathing heavy. That is the goal. So we've done it. We've done it. We're getting that strength training, and we're getting that heart training. Up and over. Here we go. Bring it up and around. And back. And back. Gonna have a nice rest here. 40 seconds before we move on to number 2. Circuit 2, PHA, combine, and Tabata cardio. Good work, ladies. Okay. Feel how that works? So this is so time efficient. It really, truly is. You're getting both a cardio workout and a strength workout at the same time. Really cool. With these 5-second transitions on this PHA, gives you a chance to make that strength training really valuable if you want to go heavier. We've got deadlifts and reciprocating back rows. So I'm going 20 for my deadlift, 15s for my back row. Grabbing the lower body weight first. Just a little bend in the knees, flat back, drive through the heels, up, hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Form is really important with a deadlift. It's really important with anything. But deadlifts, to protect the back, you want to make sure those dumbbells are grazing the legs all the way down and all the way up. They're not swinging out away from the body. That's going to pull too much on the lower back. We do not want to do that. We want to drive those hips back. Take the weight in the heels. Push through the heels, hips forward, squeeze those glutes. Down and up. And move into those reciprocating back rows. Back down into that deadlift position, alternating. Both dumbbells are moving at the same time here. See how that's working? Keeping my shoulders square to my mat. My eyes are about 2 feet in front of my toes, so my Neck is aligned with my spine. Pulling and pulling. Same speed up as down. Training those muscles in both directions. Hang in there with me, come on. Almost there. Transition back to deadlifts. Change your dumbbells if you would like. Down and up. I neglected to mention I'm using everywhere from 5 all the way up to 20s. So 5s, 8s, 10s, 15s, and 20s. If you don't have dumbbells, you can use soup cans and water bottles. That's what I did initially. And focus on form. Especially if you're just starting out, going through the range of motions that we go through in each exercise, teaching the body how to perform them safely. And transitioning now again to those back rows. Here we go. Now when we combine, we're going to do a deadlift down double row. So both arms pull and release. A little different with the combination. And then we'll stand, and that will be 1 rep. I'm going to stick with my 15s for the combination. Feeling that back work. Whew. We have 20 seconds to move into that compound move, combination move. Lots of muscles moving at the same time, wanting oxygen. Up goes our heart. All right. Turn sideways. Palms are facing each other. Nice flat back, weights in my heels, driving my hips back, taking it down in the deadlift. Back row, release. Hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Take your time here. We're getting lots of reps. We're doing 40 seconds twice, and then we do the combined, so you can add another 20 seconds, right? So 1 minute 40 seconds on an exercise. You can take it slow and controlled, and think about the dumbbells you're using. Is this easy? If it is, you might want to increase your dumbbell weight. And just bump up, you know, if you have 5s, go to 8s. If 8s are easy right now, go to 10s, and so on. All right, onto that Tabata. I'm going to grab 1 8-pound dumbbell. I'm going to hold it up. We're going to crunch, kick, okay? Arms overhead is what's going to get the heart rate up here. Abs, here we go. Crunch it out. Pull that tummy in tight. Crunch. Now, tummy tight, kick. Crunch, kick. Feel them work. Feel the heart rate go up when your arms are overhead. Blood is being pumped up overhead. And that makes the heart work harder. We keep talking about it, right? Heart working harder. We're going to skate with the dumbbell now. Heart working harder means heart rate goes up. Ready? Skate, make them big. Really twist from the core. Promised you abs through this workout, and they are here. We are getting them. The only circuit that really doesn't have an ab-focused exercise is circuit 3. But we'll be working on glutes, and we like that. I know we like that. Okay. Whew. How we doing? I hope you'll leave me comments. Tell me how you did. I know a lot of you like this format. I have had people ask for a little transition so they can go to different dumbbell strength. Kathy, here you go. So you can work those heavier dumbbells if you have them for your lower body work. Take that little 5 seconds to make that change. All right, last set of skaters, and then we get a breather. And I don't know if you can see, this shirt kind of shows my sweat, my glistening. We glisten around here, right? It sounds much better than sweat. Although, when we sweat, we know we've worked hard, right? But that doesn't mean you have to sweat to have a good workout. That's a misconception. Depending on what you're doing, you may or may not sweat. All right, we are in transition. I thought I had this figured out here with my mat, but it still wants to bunch up on that side. Whew, catch your breath. Okay, on to curtsy lunges and high rows. My curtsies, I'm gonna hold 15s. My high rows, I'm gonna transition to 10s. I probably could do 12s. I don't have my 12s with me though. So I'm gonna do the lower because you're gonna have a modification window here. Just don't go as deep in this curtsy because of that shoulder I told you about. All right, curtsy, right leg's moving. Here we go. Get nice and low if you can. If you need to stay up, look at the modification. Go as low as you can. Find out if that knee bothers you or anything else is bothering you. If not, take it lower. Test it out. Don't push through pain ever, but see if maybe you can get a little deeper than you might think. The glute is taking the brunt here. The back toe is taking it. So that front knee really is out of play for the most part. And we're transitioning to that high row. So as if we're holding a bar, elbows lead towards the ceiling. Don't want to do this, okay? We're pulling up. Wrists are neutral. We're not letting that weight come up in the front with a twist. We're pulling it with the shoulders. You can feel that rear delt work, the front of the shoulder, forward delt, okay? Whew. And the top of the shoulder. That's target's top of the shoulder. Tough muscle to get. Here's how we're gonna do it. Because when all the shoulder muscles work together and look good, you look great. Just makes that posture, that look of confidence, nice and strong, which we all should have because we're here right now. Here we go with the curtsies. Be confident in yourself. You're doing something good for yourself because you're worth it. Right? You are worth it. Take the time. We take the time for everybody else, I know. Take the time for yourself. Half an hour. We're working on a 15-minute series, so if you have a short time, short window, either do half a workout, one you like, or do one of the 15 minutes. Back to that high row. If you truly cannot get a workout in, shooting for 4 to 5 a week, you can substitute walking. And it doesn't have to be all at once. So your day's so busy that truly 15 minutes, you can't carve it out. Find ways to put short walks into your day. You've heard it, I know. Park far away, get up, set a timer. Get up if you're sitting for work, set a timer. Get up and just walk around. If you work from home, walk around your house. If you work in a building, maybe you can go out. You can set yourself a little 1-minute track out and back. Okay, I had a fail there. I didn't do the compound move for the curtsy lunge. So I stopped the recording and continued, but it didn't record. So here we go. You can see I'm a puddle here. We're gonna curtsy to high row, curtsy down, come up. So I paused, right? I stopped the camera. I reset the clock. And then I went on and completed the workout, but I didn't restart the camera. Oh my gosh, Rhoda. If you look at me, this is where we're going. It's pretty warm in here, but I am drenched. If I had another top, I would probably change into it. But at least you see, we are getting a workout here. I'm going to finish this high row. Why not? I've done a lot of them. We'll do one more. All right, we're moving on now to our Tabata round. We're going to swing the weight up, and then we're going to open the arms twice. Each time we'll tap, tap, all right? So we'll swing down and up to the front of the chest. Here we go. Swing it down and up. Tap, tap. Good thing I like this workout. Hope you do too. Oh my goodness. That's when I miss having a live group, right? Because it'd be like, you didn't start the camera. Or you skipped something. Good. All right. Same dumbbell. I'm sticking with my 5. I'm going to hold it up overhead. Hamstring curls. Kicking your butt with your right foot first. Are you ready? Here we go. At least I can laugh about it, I guess. Almost there. One more Tabata round, then we get a nice rest. All right. That swing to the opening and closing arms, toe tapping out. Here we go. Then we move on to your final circuit. I can tell you, it's all abs. And I just did it. It's a good one. So how are you all doing? Leave me your comments. You know I love them. Do you like the workout? Do you not like the workout? Whatever you have to say, I want to listen. I do, because then I can bring you next month. So work about a month in advance here. Working on getting ready to do next month, because this is the last one for October, at least that I'm recording. But I listen to your comments. You love these PHA compound Tabata combinations. You really like when we have that Tabata finisher on circuits like we're doing here today. So trying to mix that in a little bit more for you, trying to keep it strength-based, but getting that heart conditioning as well. All right, sticking with my 5s, we're gonna do a bicycle crunch, twist. Let's start with left knee, right shoulder, and we'll alternate. And then our upper body is a V press, going very light, because those dumbbells are going away from my body. It's not up here. Gravity's pulling on my arm, makes them heavy. So choose your dumbbells and adjust them as you need to. Right shoulder, left knee, here we go. Twist it out. Now this is strength. Focus. Tummy pulls in. Belly button to spine. I always say that, belly button to spine. Rounding the back a little bit. Suck in those lower abs. We want to train them to be in and tight, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're contracting them, teaching them as they get stronger to be nice and contracted, nice and tight. Pulls that lower ab in, just makes you look good. I know it's an area we all really focus on, right? We want to do something about that. Here we go, V press. And that bicycle crunch is a great way, especially with the weighted shoulders, to work those lower abs from a standing position. I have a staggered stance, 1 foot forward, 1 back. You don't have to. You can do this way, whatever feels good. Whatever foot forward feels good. Find where you feel like you have a nice stationary support to work this upper body. And rest, good. It is fall where I live, and fall in the northern hemisphere. Twist it out. Let's go this way. It's cool, right? It should be. It's very warm today. Getting up into the 80s, and I think it's pretty humid, which is why, part of why, not all the reason, but part of why I'm a puddle right now. Doing this fairly early in the morning. It's already very warm. Good. I'm going to roll out my shoulders a little bit. Got that upper body press again. Here we go. You need to rest a shoulder in between. You can alternate like that. I got fairly light weights, so I feel like I can get through this, but my shoulders are burning. And after this, I'm going to have a nice big sip of water, and you should too. Whenever you're any day really, but on days when you exercise, on days when you strength train, you want to up that water. And there are a lot of reasons why, but specifically for strength training, when you tear up these muscles, let's talk about that in a minute. I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. We're going to do one side press, crunch, and down, then we'll go the other side, all right? Right arm first. Here we go. When you strength train, you're making little tears in your muscle fibers, and that's a good thing because they say, wait a minute, we don't want that to happen again. We need to heal, and we need to heal a little stronger, a little tighter, right? And that is our goal, creating that strong, lean, tight muscle. In order to do that, your muscles need blood. Blood needs water. And if you can hydrate really well, making that blood nice and thin, easy for your heart to pump, right, blood pressure wise. All right, I'm going to stick with a 5-pound weight. Let's talk about this quick. I'm going to swing, come up, and crunch on one side. So if you can increase, your blood volume is going to increase regardless of whether you hydrate or not because of what the muscles are demanding. So by adding hydration, by making sure you're getting lots of fluid when you strength train, you keep your blood thin, which means it can get out to these muscles full of oxygen, because that's the heart and lungs job. Add that oxygen to the blood as it leaves the heart, and it's going to take that oxygenated blood to your muscles, and that's part of their healing process. So you're going to heal quicker. You're going to be less sore. Maybe not sore at all. But don't add stress to your body by being dehydrated. Any stress that we add, whether it's good, exercise stress, or bad, dehydration, increases cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that people are just starting to talk about. For a long time, they didn't talk about estrogen and progesterone, right? But then we talked about that in relation to menopause. Cortisol and insulin, two other hormones that really need to be talked about more as it relates to women and this time in our lives, 40 and beyond. We do not want to be elevating our cortisol. That's why I say don't do, you miss a few workouts. Don't think, oh my gosh, I've got to do an hour now, or an hour and a half to make up. It doesn't make it up. All it does is make it too stressful on your body. And we need to talk about what happens when cortisol levels raise. Direct correlation. Cortisol levels raise. What happens to your metabolism? It goes down. So as the stress goes up, down goes the metabolism. That's an awful combination. Unlike right now where you can cheer, because this was a great combination of PHA compound and Tabata. Great job, ladies. So give yourself a pat on the back. But think about that. Think about that as you go through your day, as you go through your life. Round your shoulders here. What can you do to bring down your stress? Because bringing down stress, and everybody's different. What is it? Is it going out for a walk? Is it closing your eyes for 10 minutes? Round your shoulders back here, stretch across the front of the body, open up the chest, look up if you can, lift the arms if you can. I've started drawing again. That was always a great stress reliever for me. Haven't done it in years, toe up. But I'm trying to find ways. Is it listening to music? Whatever it is for you. Think about ways that you can counteract the stress in your lives, because sometimes we can't change the stress of our job, the stress of our busy schedule, the stress of not getting enough sleep, right? We all can relate to that, I think, at this age. Reach up and over. What can you do to help with that stress? One of the things you can do is work out for half an hour. Don't feel like you have to kill yourself, because you're actually being counterproductive in that space. Roll your shoulders here. I want to thank all of you for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing my videos. That tells YouTube you like the content. It helps me grow. And I really, ladies, I need to grow. I want to do this full time. Deep breath in. I love working with you all. Exhale. Deep breath in. Those of you that are able to do the super thanks, I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. You have no idea. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day or evening, and I will see you next time.